Hey everybody, it's your friend Sarmate here, back with another episode of Settlement Survival. I hope you're having a fantastic and amazing day today. And thank you to everybody who responded to my inquiry about this playthrough. And we were doing the trading, we weren't doing any farms or mines, we had some other restrictions and stuff. And what you guys, the majority of you, which is about 46% of you the last time I looked, who voted, said that you would like this playthrough to continue as a regular playthrough and not have our restrictions. And I'm tending to agree with you guys. I really don't know what else I can do to showcase the trade stuff unless we go like really crazy and just have a bunch of trading posts. And like, I asked myself, would I watch that? And the novelty is kind of cool and whatever, but I don't think I would. So because of that, I think I'm going to take this playthrough into another direction, and that's going to be into a more regular playthrough. And to prepare for that, we're going to start planning some farms. And so I'm kind of excited to get this stuff going. We had a really great stream when we did on Saturday, and it was really fun to play regular, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to play regular. I'm going to get some farms planted, and we'll do that. We're going to go ahead and get some standard fields. I want to continue to do trading. I definitely don't want to like not have any trading going on because it's a big part of the game, but I just don't want it to be only trading. It's like I said before, the novelty is cool, but I think the novelty is worn off, and that is really shown in the numbers of the views and stuff that this playthrough is getting. And it's not all about the views, I know, and there is definitely people who like the playthrough as being just the trading, and for those people, I apologize that we're changing on you in the middle of it. But you guys are my customers, and I want to keep you happy, and I want to keep you watching and hanging out, and I don't want to lose you. So that's why I decided to take this into a different direction here. And I think it's gonna be more fun. And then we just don't have to look at these the prices and the setting up caravans all the time. It'll be a little bit more exciting, I feel like. So those are my reasonings for switching up the playthrough in the middle here. So I hope you stick with us, and we're going to continue to build our amazing town. We're at year 48. It looks like we do have a Happy New Year event, which I don't think I've ever seen before. Let's see what's up with that. As the year comes to a close, citizens are checking their inventory, wondering what supplies they should prepare for celebrating the new year. Cakes or clothes? I feel like clothing would be a smart thing to do. Wow, 300 gowns out of nowhere? Excellent. That's super great. So back to our farm talk. I wanted to get some farms started here for when this new year happens, because we're in the middle of winter right now, but then we have a new planting season coming up. So I wanted to get the planting started. We're going to get some peas going over here, and we know that it's going to take about 3 workers per pea field to have enough pea growth that we won't lose anything. So that's what we're going to get started here as soon as it becomes March. That's March is about when to start the planting. And we have a bunch of people, 12 people right here in our gatherer huts that we can move around a little bit. And we have a gatherer hut built down here, but nobody really to put in there just yet. So we're going to try and keep some of this stuff going as we had it, because it's been working pretty well. But we're just going to add some farms, I think. And we don't quite have anywhere get any points to get like mining and quarrying and stuff just yet. We will continue to work out towards that stuff as well, but we're doing pretty good with foods, just doing with the trading and the gatherers huts. But yeah, I think farms are going to be good, so let's get some of those guys rolling. We did pretty good, I felt like. So for this, I'm going to leave that going because we have it set up so nicely. And this gatherer set up there that I just took out, I'm going to put some people in here. There we go, we got 3. And then I'm going to back off 1 person here and 1 person here, and that's going to give us 3 more people. And we'll get that planting, and we'll get some peas on the way. And I think here, since we're kind of out of tools, we really could use some... What should we get in here? Where is our tool person? Here they are. Oh, they already haven't even done anything. So we were talking about getting stone eventually by just trading and picking it up. And you're gonna run out of stone if you only are doing that. So same thing with iron. So we want to get we can get our quarry and get our mine going here, but for now we need to get some tools being made. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of our forester hut people out of there, and we're going to make them get us some tools going on. And we got timber going on, we got some stone. We just really need the tools happening. We're at 0, big red 0. So let's get some of that going on. We have a little bit of water issues happening because we did just put in our distilleries, which are working hard, getting us some spirits, keeping our happiness up. Super great and important. And it looks like we got a pretty full apartment here. We need to build some more houses. Looks like that's also in the works, but needing all these goods. And we only have one builder. So yeah, we really could use these immigrants to really get this stuff kicked off and really working great. And when we get our next tech point, I think we're gonna go for the education point. We're gonna go skin disease. We're gonna go education point, and then we're gonna get skin disease, and then we'll be good to go for that for a little bit. Now, immigrants have been pretty nice to us so far, where they haven't been super sick, and so yeah, we've gotten lucky. So I don't want to press our luck too far with that. So that's what we're gonna get next. It should get here before the immigrants do. And then we'll grab that, and then we'll grab the immigrants. So then we'll be hopefully pretty safe, and then we can continue to work down our toward the hospital here. Now I think we did order some of this stuff, but it doesn't. I don't know if it's here yet. We must not have, or it crashed or something, because we don't have any caravans out. So we'll have to. We can order that stuff, or we can start to produce it ourselves. With the trade stuff, when if we want to build a hospital. What you can do is you can order these things and have them ready to go, and then once you get to the tech, then you're ready to build it right away. You don't have to wait and dink around waiting for these things to get created. So it's a super slick way to do it. But in the meantime, there we go. We got our technology point. We're gonna go execution, and then we're gonna go skin disease, and we're gonna activate that, and then we're gonna be a little bit more protected, and it's gonna be a little bit more better. And what do we have left for our animals? Anything? No animals. Okay. It doesn't really surprise me a whole lot, but we are going to need some agave as well. So let's plop this guy. Let's go ahead and make this thing agave. And it looks like we have sugar beets, which is okay. That's cool. I don't know how we got that. And cactuses as well are going to be nice to get going on. So let's go ahead. We'll put in some more standard fields here. It's going to be agave. We have some cactus and what else is the thing that we were talking about getting right there? Oh yeah, the sugar beets. Maybe we don't need to do sugar beets just yet. We don't have any way to really refine them or work them, so it's kind of pointless. So we won't get them yet. But things like agave, we're using up agave quite a bit. And then the cactuses are such good sources of food. We want to get those guys going, and we're definitely going to want to have the way to process the cactuses, of course, which is going to be in the form of the cactus workshop. So let's go ahead and we'll get this guy started, and we might as well put it real close, and then they don't have to go very far to process this stuff. And then we probably want to get a warehouse over there as well, and then they got a spot to put the stuff as well. So we'll get that built up, and it looks like our water is super low, and it looks like we're in the red with our trees. So this gatherer hut and forester hut combo is partially working. There is a mistake that I have right now, and that is they're both felling trees. So we want one of them to only plant, and then that's what we're gonna do there. And then this guy's only planting. One of our commenters mentioned that what they do is they keep it just like this. They have a forester's hut who plants the trees, which grows really thick, and then they manually come through and harvest them, which I could see how that could be handy. But that's kind of what happened with this situation over here. They both worked really hard, and they both cut down all the trees around it, and then I just didn't have to do anything. It just kind of happens. But I like the automatic aspect of that. It gets kind of tedious, especially when you get a huge town, to make sure that you keep cutting the trees to keep making timber. You need the timber at all sorts of places, so it's a good thing to have. Well, it looks like these houses are getting built up pretty quickly, which is excellent, because we definitely need that. And it looks like we are getting our first pea harvest. Well, that's great, super exciting. And if you notice that this guy has mushrooms and peas, that's because the worker there had mushrooms in their pockets. They came over and started work because they were a gatherer, remember? And then they just turning it in because they had them. So that's why that showed that there. Kind of silly. And oh, we got a merchant ship here. Don't have anything to purchase off that ship, and we don't have a ton of monies right now. 3,200 monies, but we can hopefully have some excess stuff here pretty quick, and we can start to sell it and be making some more money. It'd be great to flip some of those statues, especially if we can get some iron statues and timber statues, but that's gonna be kind of hard to do with timber, I think. I don't quite have the good enough means for timber yet. And I'm looking at these big wells. I should have put them over here because these are taking up house spaces now. How are we doing on housing, by the way? Let's see, we've got 6 citizens that want new houses, but we don't have any homeless people, so that's great. We could definitely put in another group of houses right here, another 2x2. So let's go ahead and plop those guys down. And then, of course, we got to build a road in there and scribble that in. One of those and one of these. And we should have our immigrants here pretty dang quick. Those guys would be nice to have in. I was kind of thinking about doing some more, doing some pastures, some more pastures. We don't have any. Since we have these nice butchers right here, I think it'll be a good idea to get those guys close by. Less walk time and all that stuff. So let's get our couple pastures here. We don't have any animals. We just looked at that. So I'm just going to get those to be prepared for when and if we do. And we can even order some animals as well. But that'll be great if we get to that point. We don't think we have quite enough money to do that yet. But, you know, pretty soon we'll be able to do that stuff. And it is becoming wintertime, so our farmers are going to come off the field and let's do a little bit of gathering. We have all sorts of trees and whatnot around town now, all grown back. We don't want to go too far into the area of influence of our foresters hut, because I don't want to take it away from there. I went a little low there, take those guys out. And yeah, so then our farmers are going to go work. They're going to cut down some of these trees and get us some more wood and whatever else they can pick up around there, which is great because we really need that stuff. Still hurting pretty good on almost everything. So, oh, I thought we had a laborer. We do not have a laborer because it looks like the person froze to death. But a boiler hut would be really nice. Weren't we talking about that? Is that why I got cut stone? I swear that I ordered this stuff. Maybe it crashed like I was thinking before. But yeah, this tree would be nice to get into as well. So with Carlos, I believe, let's see, where did we get with Carlos? Are we at the point now where we can use rope for tech experience? We are not. So this is incredibly good, as like most of the trade stuff is, and we'll show you that in just a second here. Let's take these 11 immigrants for sure, and then we're going to assign them here, because our agave are now out. We are out of agave, so we're definitely going to have to get some of these guys growing some more of that for us so we can maintain our spirits. And we'll do like that, and we'll have 3 laborers, and we can, they'll be around to fill in the spots when people die and that type of thing, because we need them. And you can see, yeah, so our distilleries are not doing great. It looks like our butcher is waiting for more food, more animals, which, yeah, that's going to happen because they're reliant on just the hunters. So until we can get our pastures going, that will be the case. It looks like we are a little bit getting close to full graveyards here. And I'm just kind of letting them work the trees here right now. And we could talk about getting into some more trading with Carlos because of that rope action that he's got. Those things it's super great. And I'll show you that here once we can do so. I'm just checking in our inventory quick to see if we really have anything that we can sell. Without the agave being produced, really, we're only have so many spirits. So 456 spirits there. I don't want to sell those. So what I think I am going to do is we're going to do our old cat trick. So I'm going to go ahead and find, let's look at the prices for cats. And I believe it was Rania and Carlos. So let's go cat. Yep. So we're going to buy from Rania and then we're going to sell to Carlos. So we're going to go Rania. And we do have 4 people, so I'm going to stop. You can go 4. Let's see, is that going to work? Almost. Let's go 3, and then we need to get insurance too. So we'll get 3 cats. That's not going to be a very, very good flip, is it? For having 4 people gone for very long. We'll do 4 cats, and then we'll have, yeah, well, that's all we can do. Yeah, let's get that and get those guys coming in, and then we'll turn around and sell it to her. And that's what I'm saying. Like, another reasoning, going back to why I decided to go to a regular playthrough, is that that's kind of what the trade playthrough has become, is like, we're looking at that menu the whole time. And it's just basically me toggling numbers. And that, like I said, I wouldn't watch that. So I don't want to produce that for you guys to watch. So we'll change it up here. We'll go back to a regular playthrough and get some stuff happening. We experimented with the trade and we got it to work okay. I don't think I would give myself a huge thumbs up and I did an awesome job. I definitely struggled quite a bit, but we did okay. But let's get this cactus guy started. I thought, didn't we have any cactuses ready? Apparently we didn't have any cactuses ready, so those guys aren't gonna be working for a whole nother little bit here. We are waiting for some more cactuses to come in. So I'm gonna move that guy. We'll put them onto a well because that's what we need a little bit more of. Get that going, and then we can hopefully have some more water here. We are sitting at a still 0 on the water there. Not great at all. And we're still building, so I want to keep our builder here. I'm kind of looking for people to flex. It's kind of what I'm doing right now. I could take out the Research Institute people and put them, you know, somewhere else, like in the wells. Not put them in the wells, but make them work at the wells. I think that's what we'll do with one of them. We'll move them to the big well here, because the well is a little bit more important. The water is more important than getting our tech points right now. So that's what we're going to work on and get that thing going as well. And let's see, what else could we get into as far as techs here? So I had been ignoring agriculture because we weren't doing that. But this tree is incredibly good for the farming efficiency aspect of that. It's going to sow and harvest by double. So that's really good to get into that. But if we want to get into the speed of the tech stuff, the reeds are going to be the way to go, and then we're going to make those into rope. So we have to get the reeds, and then we have to get processing and knitting and get the knitting workshop, and then we can make rope, and then we can get to really going with our research institute. So that's going to take a couple points, but that's not too crazy. So we should be able to do that here pretty darn quickly, and we'll get that working pretty soon here. All right, so here is where we are at now. I have a small caravan out right now to Carlos because we are in some desperate need of some food and water. You can see we got a whole 0 and about 130 foods. So we're gonna get 1,000 oats and 250 water, and that should hopefully hold us off for a little bit. I have moved around our agave workers. Those guys are mostly in the caravan, and then I did also turn off I didn't turn off, but I removed the workers from the distilleries and moved them onto well duty to try and get some of this water situation figured out. And we do have a little bit of reserve of spirits, so I'm not super concerned about that at the moment. And we also have a little bit of backlog of agave, so again, not super concerned. We'll be able to turn that back on and get ramping back up to where we were pretty dang easily. And I'm kind of thinking we do that once these immigrants arrive here. You can see that they're pretty close. We almost have our tech points so we can get into the reed farms, but we did get some geese, and you can see here we got 2 little pastures already started up. They got 2 workers in there, and we have a good amount of geese producing us a little bit of poop. No meats yet because we haven't slaughtered anything because we're waiting to get to that 9. But yeah, that's coming along. Glad to have that. And the poop, of course, we can use for either heating or for fertilizers in a little bit down the road. But that's good stuff to have for sure. And once we get one of these, either alpaca or buffalo or another kind of mammal-y thing, we'll do the same thing with this butcher as we did with the other 2, where we'll ban it, make the meat chops, make the fats. And that's another thing. So we have 930 fats reserved, and that's just from the hunters. So that worked out pretty well. Not having that farm at all, so that worked well. We could just go into soap and then have soap, but I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to get some reeds started, and then I think we'll go with the processing of the reeds after that, and then we'll get into some soap. So let's go ahead and we'll get our reeds, and then we can get some reed farms started. I also want to do some sand pits now that we can do that again, and then we can start to make some of our own clay stuff. So let's get a couple of our reed fields in here. And this is kind of, I don't know, maybe this isn't the best idea to start trying to get down a little bit of an industry path here because we don't really have our basics covered super well yet. But I'm going to at least get the buildings in, and we can worry about having them be employed at a later time. Once we have this stuff nailed down a little bit. And now that we have farms, it's going to be just a matter of time before we have enough food figured out. And then we'll be good to go. We'll continue to grow and get more people, and it'll be a joyous occasion, and it'll be wonderful. Let's just take a quick peek. So this is going to take about 50 more days for this trader to come back, and that's, of course, like I mentioned, going to have our food and our water. I did have 7 cats that I tried to sell, and we had a mishap with the caravan, so we did get the insurance, but we did not get the rep. So I'm still trying to get that level 2 rep with Carlos so we can get the rope XP going. And oh, I always forget about this, so that we can make clothes now from agave once we hit, not now, but once we hit level 2. And we got that happening. So right now we're making clothes with leather that we're just finding kind of randomly with our hunters. So that'll be really nice that we can find a little bit more steady, farmable, renewable way to get clothing. And I did just switch that from leather to a pack of wool because we have a pack of wool, we have no leather. So we're going to continue to make clothing. I don't want to run out and have people freeze it as super easy. For a while there, we have gowns. So gowns are super duper fantastic and amazing. And so we've been pretty good with clothing, but I don't want to use the gowns if we don't have to, I guess. I don't know if they're the priority. They probably are over the rough clothing. Yeah, you can see here, if we just sit here for just a second, we're at 220 gowns and now we're at 219 while rough clothes hasn't moved at all. So it looks like the gowns are the priority. And our caravan has returned, costing us 1,100 monies, but bringing us in that ever important water and food to hold us off for a little bit longer. So we're gonna get those workers back, and that'll be very great to have those guys back. And then it's August, so winter's coming up. So our farmers are working hard over here, getting our crops in from the field, and then we can use those guys to gather some more stuff up around town. We have a couple nice rocks over here. We had a stone and some iron. We got those marked and picked up, and you can see here's another little rock bundle. So we'll mark that. And I'm definitely going to do a little gather plants, kind of a big grab here. I did put in 2 workers down here on this gather hut, and I flexed around some of our foresters and our gatherer huts. The foresters, they're nice because we're getting wood, but I mean, I feel like food and water are above priorities than wood. So we moved those guys out of there. And now with our laborers back, maybe we can put some more people back in there and continue to gain some wood. And as well as we'll see what these other immigrants gain for us. I did set up 3 farms for oats. That's going to take up a majority of those new immigrants as they get here, but we need the food coming in. So those guys will be assigned in the next season here, which will be a little bit. It's just about to be winter, so we obviously aren't going to plant in the winter time. So those guys won't have a job right away, but they will. So yeah, that's the situation with those guys. And we should be seeing them here just about like any second. Oh, I did miss a bunch of rocks over here that we could grab. So let's go ahead and we'll grab those rocks as well. And then we'll get that guys gathered up. And let's see. So we do have the 3 laborers. It looks like we have lost a couple of people and they are filling in. So I'm just going to leave the 3 laborers until we get our immigrants in. We'll accept the immigrants and then we'll tuck them in up on the farms and maybe we'll sprinkle them around the foresters' huts and stuff. Look how good these foresters' huts have filled in the space in only a matter of a couple of years. Like, that's pretty dense. And you saw just a little bit ago that was pretty naked in there. So they did pretty good work working together like that. Super great. We got 11 immigrants. Let's check and accept those people. It looks like we do have somebody who's sick, but we can handle that one. That is a, what is that? That's cholera, I think it was, or measles. Either one, doesn't really matter because we can handle them both. And we do have a merchant ship, so let's see if there's anything we want to buy, and there isn't. I keep checking the merchant ships, looking for those blueprints. We can get some blueprints started as well. Those are always fun to get, but they're pretty hard to get as well. So when we get them, they're kind of a treat. 14 labor. So let's go ahead and we'll assign our people here. Of course, they're not going to start work yet until the seasons change. But now we're down to 3 laborers. It sounded like something got built, so that must have been over here, and it was the sand pit. I am going to turn the sand pits off, and I want the reed fields, but okay, maybe I can't turn the sand pits off. We need some clay, so let's get some clay going. Get Ariel and Jamie working on that, and get some clay, and then we'll build our sand pits or build our reed fields over here. And in the meantime, let's go ahead and we'll sprinkle a couple of our laborers back over here. We'll put 1 person here and 1 person here, and I'm just going to hold on to the 3 laborers there. So a super great situation. Now we're doing okay with food and water now that we got that boost. It looks like it's doing okay. Yeah, like I said, it's doing okay. We'll probably have to go and get some more food and water again. And we will probably buy some cats from Rania and sell them to Carlos and try to get a little bit of money. I did have a bunch of people working in the big wells down here. Got as much water coming in as we can pretty much get at this point. So yeah, we're just kind of waiting for this clay to get these reed fields in. And our farms are going to be doing great. And that's gonna be it for this episode. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me. I hope you enjoy the new revised series of Trade Town. I think it's going to be a little bit more exciting, a little bit more fun. If you do want to continue to watch some Settlement Survival, that'll be the playlist for this series on the bottom, and YouTube will have a suggested video for you on the top. So have a fantastic and amazing rest of your evening, day, or night, and I'll see you on the next episode of Settlement Survival.